If you're struggling to understand which marketing channel is responsible for your sales and you can't afford a third-party attribution tool like Triple Whale, you need to make a daily tracker like this. And don't worry if you find attribution a confusing topic. I'm going to make this the most simple, understandable video on Facebook ads attribution that you've ever watched. I'll explain why you can't trust the numbers in Facebook Ads Manager, how attribution could be making your Facebook ads performance look bad when actually it's very good and you should be scaling up, and why third-party attribution tools like Triple Whale, Northbeam, and Wicked Reports aren't all they're made out to be. So whether you're an e-commerce store owner or you're a Facebook ads agency that does e-commerce ads, you need to watch this video because everyone should be on the same page when it comes to attribution for Facebook ads. Before we get into that though, let's break down the attribution problem into understandable terms. This is a typical customer journey to purchase a product. So if we look at the day 1 to day 7, your customer is going to first see an ad on Facebook and Instagram. They're going to come along and they're going to visit your Shopify store, get a bit more information, but they're doing something else, so they go and bounce for now. They're then going to come back and go, oh yeah, I saw that product the other day, now I have a bit more time. I'm going to go onto Google and find out a bit more about that brand, or go back and try and get some more information on that product from your particular brand. So they're going to go onto Google, search your product or brand. They're going to see a Google ad right at the top and they're going to click on it and they're going to follow that path down into your Shopify store. When they're on your Shopify store, they're going to get a pop-up offering them a 10 or 15% off discount code if they subscribe to your newsletter. So if they think, okay, yeah, I'm going to buy this product anyway, let me just fill that in and get the discount that you're offering. They do that, they obviously come off of Shopify, go to their email waiting for them to get this code, click on the code, and then revisit your Shopify store to go and redeem the code, type it in at checkout, and they end up purchasing that product. Very typical customer journey, showing how all the platforms are working together. But what's going to happen in that situation is all 3 of these channels are going to fire back to their platforms that they generated a sale, because we're using the 7-day window. So Facebook and Instagram, you've got the 7-day click, 1-day view. It's going to say, well, in that 7-day period, someone came in and they bought a product from my ad. It doesn't care that they went onto Google and then they went into your email to get an email. All it sees is someone clicked on my ad, they went through and they purchased. Okay, that is an ad that I've generated. That's a sale that I've generated. Into Ads Manager, there's 1 sale reported. Same thing with Google. They don't know what happened before. The person came and searched onto their platform. They didn't see what happened after. As far as they're concerned, in that 7-day period, someone went on, clicked on their ad, and then purchased that product, okay? 1 sale from them. And then finally, email. They didn't see these 2 steps that happened before. They just saw someone entering the email. They fired away the email. Someone clicked on that email, opened it, clicked on it, and then went and purchased a sale for them as well. So if the 3 separate people that are managing these platforms, they're all going to report back to that store owner, yep, we generated 1 sale from this particular customer. But you as the store owner, of course, you're only going to see 1 sale in your actual revenue for your business, because they're over attributing sales that have been generated by other platforms. And it's this simple process on a much bigger scale, not just 1 customer, hundreds of customers, that is causing so much confusion and uncertainty for business owners and advertisers alike about the numbers that are being reported in their platforms. So what tools like Triple Whale do is they look at all the different touch points that occur in this process, and they try and establish what one of these channels should really get credit for that ultimate sale. So now that you know this is happening, you can see why a lot of people don't really trust the numbers that are reported in any one of these channels' dashboards. In Facebook, the default attribution window is 7-day click, 1-day view. And that means if someone clicks on an ad in a 7-day period, or they view an ad in a 1-day period, Facebook is going to take credit for any of those purchases and report them into Facebook Ads Manager. And that's not really a problem when you're running low spend or you're only running Facebook ads as your sole advertising channel, because those numbers, those purchase numbers, are probably going to be quite close to the actual reality, because Facebook's the only thing that's working and there's no other channels involved. But once you start scaling up spend and more people are going onto your organic Google, or you introduce Google Ads as a platform, those numbers are going to get really, really skewed because there's something else happening and Facebook's going to take credit for some of the stuff that's happening over on Google, especially because of this one-day view attribution part of the setting. Because what happens is someone goes onto Google and they search for a product. They see your brand, they click on your ad, they go to your website, they have the intent to buy that product. They're already a very high intent, very warm person, prospect, looking to buy from your company. But let's say they go, okay, I want to buy this product. I like this brand. I'm just going to save this because I need to do some work and I'll buy it at lunchtime, okay? They go through that process and then they have a spare 5 minutes, maybe like an hour later. Because they've been on your website, they're going to go into Instagram, as an example. They go into Instagram because they're bored, they have to kill 5 minutes, and they're served immediately an ad for that product. They view it because they're on Instagram anyway, but they're not going to click on it because they know, well, I'm going to go through at lunchtime and buy that product from that brand. Why would I click on it now? So they continue their scrolling, put off the phone, and get back to work. Then when lunchtime comes, they go back on to your website via Google again, and they go and actually buy that product. Facebook's going to claim that it was responsible for that sale as well, because it has the one-day view attribution. They viewed your product in the morning, and then they went and bought at lunchtime. But they were going to buy that anyway, regardless if Facebook had shown them that ad or not, okay? And that process happens a lot once you start using a lot more spend on Google. And the metrics you see reported on Facebook become unreasonably high, and it gets very, very confusing if you're looking at Ads Manager alone. So what some people will do to deal with this situation is they'll go into their Shopify analytics and they will try and filter out the Facebook and Instagram sales traffic from paid sources only. So they'll look at Facebook and Instagram filtered, and then they'll look at their ad spend on Ads Manager and use that to work out their ROAS and their CPA. And they may even filter that down by the UTMs if they have UTM parameters on their ads, and look at individual campaigns that way too. Now, the first issue with this is the attribution setting between Facebook and Shopify isn't the same. And I'm not going to go into that and explain it because you don't need to know it and it's going to end up confusing you. But the main thing to be aware of is that Shopify reporting works on a last touch basis. That means Shopify reports a sale to whatever channel someone was on immediately before they landed on Shopify in that given session to make their purchase. And that means you're judging Facebook performance by this method based only on its role as a last click platform, because you're looking at where did traffic come and purchase when the last thing they were on was a Facebook ad that they clicked on. But this means you're excluding so much data from Facebook sales that relate to that view through attribution, where people see an ad on Facebook, then they go and search your brand, okay? Or they type in your exact website into the URL because they've seen your ad on Facebook. They just didn't click on the ad. Because they've not clicked on that ad, the way attribution works on Shopify, it's not going to give Facebook ads the attribution for that sale, when really Facebook should get attribution for that sale. So you're making performance decisions based on incomplete data by doing it this way. Because Facebook is a top of funnel platform, what it does really well is work in this awareness level of the funnel, where it's bringing in new people, getting them aware of your products, getting them aware of your brand, and then going through that process of educating them, increasing their desire over time by showing them different ads that speak to different type of messaging from that funnel. But then what's going to happen once someone has been warmed up and they're more aware and they're now looking to actually buy your product, buy from your brand in particular, is they're going to go and search for you in Google rather than waiting for them to be shown an ad, okay? So Google's going to get the benefit of a lot of those sales at that very last touch point, but Facebook was involved prior to that in that whole process, bringing those people down the funnel. And what often happens to people as they get bigger in scale is their Google numbers will look great and their Facebook numbers will look terrible, because as you scale, you have to go for more colder traffic, more unaware traffic, and Facebook's role becomes more of, right, let me bring in more people who are very unaware. They're going to take a bit of time to warm them up. But if Google's getting the credit for that, people just look at it and go, Facebook's doing bad, Google's doing well. Let's scale up Google and let's not scale up Facebook. But this is holding them back because Google would not have had those sales if it wasn't for all that great work that Facebook is doing, warming those people up in the first place and bringing them into your brand. The two work together as a team. And this is a dilemma that still exists, even if you're spending $500 a month on a very sophisticated third-party tracking tool. Sure, you can see which platform had the most credit or should get the most credit for a particular sale, but at the end of the day, nothing was working in isolation. It wasn't doing it on its own. All channels were working as a team. And if one of them didn't exist, the other ones aren't going to be able to generate the sales or wouldn't likely be generating the sales. For example, let's say I had a Facebook or Instagram ad that someone saw 3 times and then they purchased via an email. So maybe the first time they came in, really top of funnel, they had no awareness of the product or the brand before, went onto the website and ended up bouncing because they just didn't have much time. But then they get remarketed to with a different ad that maybe gives them a bit more information, sparks their interest again. They go back on, they've got more time this time, so they end up doing a bit of reading and starting to be more interested in what you're offering, okay? And then finally they bounce because they had something else to do. And they come back on a third time and they're also interested again in that product, but they decide, you know what, it's too expensive. I don't really need it right now. I'm just going to go and bounce. But as they go to bounce, leave your website, you end up serving them a pop-up offering them a discount code. So like, you know what, that's a good discount. Actually, this seems affordable with that discount. Let me just go in that email, put my email in, go on my email and use that discount code and buy today, okay? Quite a realistic thing that will happen in the real world. And quite rightly, my third-party attribution tool will look at that and go, well, hang on, Facebook's done all this work to actually generate this sale. I'm going to give it the most credit for this particular sale, which I would be fine with. It has done all that work. It's brought new people into the business. It's warmed them up. And ultimately, we've had a sale with a free channel of our email. I would be happy for Facebook to get the credit and a scale up that Facebook campaign. But if you didn't send that email in this particular customer journey, even though Facebook did all that work, that person would not have purchased. So you can't just say, okay, Facebook should get all the credit. Let me stop doing email because, yeah, the third-party attribution tool is telling me that Facebook's generating me these sales. Everything is working as a team. So obviously emails maybe not the best example because you're not spending money on it. It might be like, that's like an evergreen flow. But that same scenario is happening with TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, Google, YouTube, whatever. They're all competing together, but actually they're working as a team. So what do? Well, you need to look at marketing efficiency ratio in combination with the on-platform metrics of each individual platform. So marketing efficiency ratio, shortened as MER, is your total revenue that you take from Shopify of everything combined divided by the total ad spend. So again, all the ad platforms spend combined. So I'm going to add up my Google, my Facebook, my TikTok, my Snapchat, whatever. I'm taking that ad spend, adding it all together, taking the revenue from Shopify and then dividing it by that ad spend. It's effectively like a business or a total advertising combined ROAS. Okay, it's the same calculation. And then I'm going to combine that with my on-platform metrics of ROAS and CPA in each individual channel whenever I'm doing my optimizations. So what you're effectively doing is you're going, right, on a weekly basis, let's say, my marketing efficiency ratio is X number. That's the kind of number I need to be doing in my business. So the machine as a whole, all the channels combined are working this week. I should be scaling them up, okay? So it's in the positive. I might not know individually what's exactly happening, but even if like one of the channels looks lower, it's working as a whole. It's working for what I need. Let me scale it up. And then what you do is you go into the individual platforms for your optimizations and you go, right, all the data I have here, the numbers, I know this is not actually accurate. I can never use this on its own, but I can use it to benchmark stuff that within the platform. So if I'm looking at Facebook as an example, I'm in Ads Manager, I'm looking at the different metrics, I can still use the CPA, I can still use the spend, the ROAS of the different campaigns and the different ads, as long as I'm comparing the results with the averages in Ads Manager at the bottom or in my other campaigns. I'm not comparing that with like a figure that's some like solidified figure that I look at, you know, my KPI is 2x ROAS for Ads Manager, because 1 week in Ads Manager, that 2x ROAS might mean something. And then the next week, it's just taking a lot of view for you attribution from Google, and it doesn't really mean anything. But at least if you're looking at the benchmarking within the platform in that given time period, you can go, well, this campaign's got a 10x ROAS, this one's got a 5x ROAS. I don't really know what the actual ROAS is from Facebook, but I know the one that's got the 10x ROAS is doing better than that other campaign. Let me scale it up. So to do this process, all you have to do is track your MER on a daily basis. And you do that by creating a simple spreadsheet where you can come and refer to MER when you're doing your optimizations. Now, I obviously have quite a complex spreadsheet because I want to see all the information in the one place rather than going through that process of looking on individual platforms. And I want to see that as a line in the sand for time. So I want to be able to go back and look at 3 weeks before. Okay, what was the MER? What was the actual on-platform metrics? Rather than having to work on two different platforms. I'm not going to show you that today. That spreadsheet alone will probably take a full video to go through. But I will show you how to create a simple one so you can get started looking at MER in MER in combination with your on-platform metrics. So let's jump onto Excel now and actually build that together. And yeah, that'll be the end of the video. Okay, so we're in Google Sheets and we're going to create this MER Tracker. So the first thing, you're going to put in the date. Then you're going to do your ad spend, or let's put total ad spend, or MER. And then also put in your MER of your first time customers, okay? So any business that is looking to grow or gets to scale knows that they need to be bringing new people into the business in order to make more money. There's only so far you can go with increasing the lifetime customer value of your current customers, okay? So you want to be tracking that metric as well to say, are we still bringing in new customers at a good rate, at a good return on ad spend, okay? So look at that one as well. Then you're going to do your total sales and your total sales first time customer as well, okay? And then you just put the ad spend for the different platforms. So let's just do Google and Facebook for now. So Facebook ad spend, Google ad spend. Okay, and then put in the dates. So we start it from Monday to Sunday. I like to run it. So we've got the March 20th, 2023 would be Monday. And then we'll put in a little formula here just to equals it to, it's probably UK dates. So let's take 7 of them. Yep, okay. And then we can put a week 1 total. And let's highlight these yellow just so we can keep track. And then make a nice sheet. So, you know, you're going to be referring to this a lot. Keep it clean, keep it easy to understand for yourself by making it neat, guys. You know, when you're dealing with a lot of data, you don't want to make it confusing and complicated. So that's that, total ad spend. Okay. So I've got 1 week there, and then I'm going to populate this. So total ad spend, we're going to put the sum in. And total sales, one there. First time customer. Okay, now the formulas you're going to enter into here would be, so MER is going to be equal total sales divided by your total ad spend. And there's nothing in there at the moment. Let's just check it is working. Yeah, okay. And let's pull that down. And then this one is going to be your total sales first time divided by your total ad spend. And don't worry, I'm going to show you where you pull these exact numbers from in Shopify. So let's pull that down too. And of course, you can put these formulas also in these to work out your totals. And we're just neaten it up. That, guys, is essentially your sheet. So you're going to copy this and do 4 weeks as well. So just edit this date. +1. That'll fix all them, and do week 2. Okay, copy these down. 2 more times. Week 3. Week 4. So you're obviously going to do that at the start of the month, and that has me now got a foolproof sheet I can look at and, you know, work out the MER and first time MER. And of course you could do a summary at the bottom where you add all 4 of these and calculate the monthly, and then you can compare it month on month, right? So now that I've got that, we want to jump onto Shopify and pull the actual numbers that you're going to be inputting into these, or just show you where you can get them from, and then we can put some theoretical numbers in. So when you're in Shopify, you're going to come to Analytics, and then you're going to come and click on this total sales report and click on View Report. So to get the sales data, we have the choice of 3 different sales really. We can take gross sales, net sales, or total sales. It's a tough thing to tell you which one to choose because there's fors and againsts for each one. So me as a Facebook advertiser, ideally I want to be looking at gross sales, or probably gross sales minus discounts, because that is what is most important to me, and that's the best measure of, is this campaign, is this account actually performing? Because net sales includes returns. So if I have great ads and I sell these products 1 week, and then the next week they're also doing well, but the products that they sent out last week were terrible products, they were faulty, and everyone returned the products, in that current week, my gross sales are going to be good, but my net sales are going to be terrible because all these returns from the faulty products. So that's then going to go, well, hang on, these products are faulty. Your Facebook ads are bad. My Facebook ads aren't bad. It's no fault of the Facebook ads that the products were returned. The products weren't good, okay? But then vice versa, if I'm a business owner, I don't want to be scaling my Facebook ad spend, scaling my business if I'm not making money as a business. I'm getting goods returned and it's costing me money. I don't want to be scaling that. And likewise, if I have discounts and things, I need to know what effect are the discounts having on us, because if we're making great gross sales just on its own, but actually we're doing that by giving massive discounts, we could still be losing money as a business and not be able to scale. Okay, so there's different ones you can do. You could take total sales as well. I mean, if you could be making profit on your shipping, you could be making losses on your shipping, and you might want to see that and have total sales. I don't think it really matters as long as you're looking at the same one every single week in terms of optimizing the platforms. And then of course the business owner has to look at their overall profit and loss week on week, month on month, and advise you as a marketer. And they'll set the KPIs based on that. But if you're just doing and you want to just check how the channels are performing any given week, just take whatever one you want to take, but make sure you use the same one consistently. So for this example, let's just go with net sales as like a way to be nice to the business owner and ourselves, because realistically, you're not going to get, a good business is not going to have a whole batch of stock returned, But me personally, in my own stuff, I will use gross sales less discounts. But let's do it this way because this is what clients always want to use. So you can copy that and put it into your spreadsheet in the total sales column. Now we have the other thing of total sales first time customer. Well, if you want to get the first time customer, come up to this funnel looking image, click on it, element even, and then type in customer type. Okay, so come down to customer type and then search for first time customer and check that. So apply filters. You see this comes down now, that's your first time customer. Okay, so you're going to take that and put it to the first time customer sales section. And we can jump back onto the spreadsheet now. Okay, so we're back in the spreadsheet. We're going to put in our total sales. It was 6,000. Let's just round it. And then it was 4,000 for that. Okay. Let's say our ad spend on Facebook from Ads Manager was 2,000 that day. And then their Google spend was, I don't know, like 1,000. Why is this not spitting that out? Oh, yeah, I need to do this. That add that. Okay, so obviously you'd pull this down for the rest of them. Just keep it neat. Okay, and let's just only look at your MER in terms of one decimal, sorry. So we've got our MER for that week, and then maybe it was like 5,000 the next day, 7,000, maybe it was 10,000. We had a bad day, we had 3,000, I don't know, 4,500, another 5,000, okay. And then let's just pull this down, I can't be bothered. In fact, no, we'll do it. 3,000, we had 6,000, 9,000, or maybe it would be more. 2,000, 100, 4,000. And then we just do the same spend every day for this purposes. You can now look at this and go, okay, here's my MER 2.4, first time 1.9. Your first time is always going to be lower than your overall MER for obvious reasons. Is that good or bad? Maybe my goal was 2.0. I can go, wow, we're doing really well. The machine is working together. Let's scale up the accounts. And, I don't care if Facebook's not doing very well in terms of the ROAS on the platform. If I have less than a 1 ROAS on the platform, I don't care. I know that I'm bringing in a lot of new customers because they're quite close together, and I'm meeting my overall business objectives. So that's kind of how you would use this spreadsheet, guys. It's super helpful. And of course, you have the summaries of the weeks. You can look at the actual days. But I like to scale the accounts maybe twice a week. So on a Monday, I would scale it. And on a Thursday, I will scale it. Don't look at it every single day. You have to give it time to actually make progress. So Monday and Thursday, I'll optimize my accounts. I'll increase the budget or I'll decrease the budget. That's essentially the process. So hopefully that's given you a better understanding of attribution and the confidence to go out and start scaling your accounts if they're doing well as a business, even if the metrics within the platforms might not be looking so good. And you have the tools to do that with the MER Tracker. If people are having problems creating it, let me know in the comments. Don't DM me on Instagram. Let me know in the comments. And if enough people are having issues, I'll go and finish that example I was doing in the actual video. And I'll leave it as like a link that you can go and take. But for now, I'm not going to do it. I'll do it if enough people ask. And also, guys, if you like this video, the best way you can help me is by sharing it with people so that it gets more watch time. I get more people coming in. And of course, if you're watching these videos, if you're like a regular and you aren't subscribed, definitely subscribe, because I have certain milestones of when I hit metrics on YouTube, I'm going to do certain things that are going to produce incredible value for you all, but I need to hit those metrics on YouTube to justify myself the time and resource that would be put into creating those things. Okay, so a little bit of a taster for you, a little feeler. I won't go into too much detail, but if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. Share it with friends. Watch time is one of the best metrics. So if more people are watching it and you're sharing it, that's really going to help me. And if you help me, I will help you. Okay, so thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. And until the next one, hope you have a good week.